All right. Let me get in.
Hi, friend.
Hi.
How are
Just
you?
looking good. I'm setting everything up. We're getting
Nice.
Ellen.
Hello,
Hey!
Hi.
how are you?
Very
Good.
good.
How
How
are
are
you
you?
guys?
I'm doing good. Don't mind me scrolling through my filters.
Listen, I was like worried. This is our first live, so we're
Oh
figuring the
yeah,
kinks out.
yeah, it's fun. They finally added so you can do up to 4 people finally. Before it was just such a
No.
strip, like just two
Oh
people.
my God. Yeah, I was like,
That's
oh
so
wait, there's
cool.
two of us. If you see me checking my phone, mind your business.
Hey, Queen PR.
Mind your business.
Okay. Okay. So
We're good.
I'm. Hey, girl. Hey, Queen Bee, I love
Hey,
you.
hey.
Hey, look at
Oh
my
my
face. Look
gosh.
at all these people saying hi.
I know. Cute.
Yes, these are birthday balloons, and mind your business. It's been 2 months.
Well,
Ah,
nobody asked. Nobody asked. You
So,
pointed it
you just
out.
I'll be honest.
my birthday was last week, so we
See,
can
they're
say
for you. I'm keeping them
I
up.
know.
Keeping them up.
Happy late
Yay!
birthday.
Scorpio.
yeah, Scorpio season.
Oh my gosh. Hi, everybody. All
Hey guys. Welcome.
right, we'll just get everybody in. Everyone's settled. How's your night, Ella?
Good. I just was watching Survivor. I know AEW's on, but for me, Wednesdays are Survivor nights when it's that season. So
Ooh,
I'm doing
okay.
good. How are you guys? Thank you,
Awesome.
those wrestling girls.
Good. I'm good. That's my day off. I'm chilling.
Nice. Yes, and
Thank
happy
you.
anniversary too. Oh my
Oh,
gosh, 3 years is
I
incredible.
know.
yeah, so that's okay. Let me just do an intro. There's people still coming in, but
Yeah.
basically, if you're here, we're being joined by past guests. This is officially our 3-year anniversary week. Yesterday we recorded. Saturday is our anniversary of our first episode ever going out in the world. A
Going
hot mess.
live.
If you want to watch it, but we're just gonna celebrate
It was
talking
so
past guests.
fun though. It was so fun.
3 years, that's incredible.
It's a ride. So we're celebrating, talking to our favorite people we've talked to, supported us, and just catching up. And it's been a minute since we all talked. I talked to you over the summer, which is also kind of where this came from.
Right.
It was
Ah,
Iridian's idea for this
yeah,
Q&A. Dropping my mic over here. So shout out to Iridian Rest Friends. This was technically her idea. Combined it with your little
Yes.
IC I was on. Here we are.
Here we are.
Look at
yeah. I'm
us.
glad to be here. Obviously, yeah. The last time I was on your show was around WrestleMania, and then
Yep.
of course we had Alicia on a wrestling gal in August, I believe. So yeah.
Yeah, it was before Vegas, before we went, everything. I feel like everything good happened now because everything kind of exploded after you went to NWA. Everything since then has been a ride.
Yeah.
Let's talk about NWA first. Let's talk about that weekend.
Yes,
Just kind of
let's
go back.
go.
I go back, please?
Right.
Oh my
I'm
Right.
sure.
God.
Right.
That was honestly like the most magical 6 days. Yeah, 5 days of my life,
Oh my
honestly.
gosh.
No, yeah, 6 days of my life. That was so incredible that weekend, and I honestly wish I could go back. I can't believe it's been over 2 months now. Oh, Rest Friends is here, by the way. So,
Oh,
Yay!
okay.
but yeah.
They missed the
They,
shout
they,
out.
yeah, we shouted you out. You missed it. They probably were like ears ringing.
My ears are ringing.
Oh my God. But yeah, NWA Empowerr and like NWA 73 was obviously so magical. Like I got to be on the actual pay-per-view and the paparazzi, got to
Wow.
do my first ever in-person interviews, got to attend the after parties for the first
Ooh,
time ever. So it
ooh.
was,
So
I haven't even
fun.
really talked about that, but that was so much fun and so magical to be a part of history, honestly.
Hey, Teddy.
But yeah. Oh, Millie's here too. Hey, Teddy. Everybody. I love everybody in here.
Party. We're just gonna have a party.
I mean, why not?
It's an anniversary. It's all good.
Exactly.
But yeah, you were in Melina's entrance, and I was like, oh my God, I'm obsessed with Melina.
Goodness. That is so
Yeah, that
cool.
that was so last minute too. Like literally, a couple hours before the show. Like I don't even know if I've like fully told this story, but like so I'm hanging out. Obviously, I went with my good friend Samira. It's Samira, and then we were hanging out with Dia Shin of Ring the Bell and like that whole crew. Like just after actually during the meet and greets. And then like he gets a text from Gail Kim, like, do you and like Ella J have and granted
Oh my
Gail
God.
doesn't know me, and I'm like, he's like, do you have 4 people you can wrangle up with like flash cameras, like you, Ella J, and like 2 other people? And I'm like, oh my God, because a couple weeks before on Twitter, DS was jokingly like, yeah, so like, when are we going to be Melina's paparazzi? Not that
Wow.
that happened. And then he gets a text from Gail, and I'm like, Gail, like, I haven't seen Gail in 10 years, like, as a fan, and, like, she would have no idea who I am. And I'm like, oh, Mickey said something. So then we rush back to our hotel room so we can get changed, because we have, like, an hour and a half to get changed and get ready because they want us to do rehearsals. And then Mickey texts me, and I'm like, girl, we're already on our way there. DS manifested it, not me. DS was the one who put the idea out there. Mickey and Gail were just the ones that were like, let's do this.
That's so crazy.
So we rushed back to our hotel, get changed. Samira, for some reason, didn't bring any black. So we literally had to rush to a Rainbow, a clothing store on the way there to get her a shirt. And then we rushed back to the hotel, like Ubered back so quickly, did our makeup, and did a little rehearsal, and then just chilled out like at the hotel for like 3 hours. Yeah, like a good 2-3 hours before the show rehearsing, and because we're like, we can't go back. We're just gonna stay here now.
That is so crazy. That is so cool.
Casually getting a text from Gail Kim. Look at you. Look at that. Casually. No, she.
Well, no. Gail texted DS because they're good friends. Then Mickey texted me, and I'm like, oh, I already know, girl. I was like, I already know. We're on our way. Rainbow does love, honestly, though.
We don't have that out here.
No,
really?
Not yet. Not yet.
Mm-mm.
We don't.
Interesting.
I know.
Maybe, is it an Eastern thing? I don't know.
Could be.
Maybe. Yeah. West Coast doesn't have that.
No.
Well, West Coast needs to get on it. They have
Right. Clearly, it saves lives.
Apparently, we need to get on
We're
this.
losing lives every day. We need this.
Yeah. And thank
Fashion
God
emergencies.
thank God that, because I didn't have a flash camera like everybody else did. Thank God one of DS's friends, Will, shout out Will Pro, had literally had an extra flash camera. So I was like, you need to teach me this so I don't break it. So thank God he had an extra camera, or otherwise, like, I would have been out of luck.
That is so cool.
Like, everything just happened so fast, and like it all worked out though in the end.
Yeah, no kidding.
Meant to be.
Yeah. Oh my God, I missed that show.
Dang,
oh my God.
That's a memory stored like in the memory bank.
Yeah, I made my friends take my phone during that, but we, unfortunately though, right before, like, we had our cue of when to go backstage. So unfortunately though, I ended up missing Awesome Kong's like retirement speech. Like, we knew a surprise was coming. They told us Gail has a surprise, and like once Gail comes out, like, that's your cue to go backstage. And we didn't know what it was, and then Kong came out. I'm like, oh my God, I'm missing Kong. So I didn't even get to hear what she was saying. I mean, you could hear through it, but then afterwards we saw her backstage right after, and it was so emotional. I was like, oh my God, I wish I got to see that like out in the crowd, but it was cool to be backstage before like Melina and Deanna went out there, and right after Gail and like Kong got back. It was cool.
I'm drinking out of my Tony Deppen koozie. Yes.
Shout out Tony Deppen.
A nice Good and Gather peach and ginger. So good. It's yeah, I don't drink soda. This is like the only thing I can do for some caffeine, fuzzy.
Yeah.
Some bubbly.
I left my waffle downstairs. I feel like I should have brought it up. It is what
You should have. That's on brand for us.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Love a claw.
Oh yeah.
Dude, the surges though are really addicting. Like, I'm obsessed with the cranberry one and the orange. It's more alcohol, but it tastes really good.
Okay.
So that's what I've been drinking.
Noted.
Just excuse me.
Yeah.
We have a Friendsgiving coming up.
Oh yeah. Oh, that'll be a hit.
One of you's got to bring it. Honestly,
Yeah, one of us.
Or the
vegan.
Truly Punches, if you haven't had those. Those are good too.
Oh, you're gonna have to do it, Elle, because I'm not gonna be here.
Oh, the 20th?
Is it? I
You'll
thought
be
it was
back.
the 18th.
It's moved. Anyways,
Heck. Okay. That's a whole other
it's a whole
story.
separate issue.
That always happens.
Plans are changing. Anywho's, let's get
My
back to your.
calendar.
I got you. This is. It's hard. See, you're a one woman show. You don't have to deal with a
Hello.
co-host and calendars and all this for two.
I got a Virgo here. I got a Virgo helping me out here.
Me, get you a Virgo.
Get you a Virgo.
I'm a Virgo moon, if that counts.
That does
Ooh,
count.
that makes
That
sense.
does count.
That's why you're so organized. I got it. But since we've talked, besides NWA, PWI 150, what is this?
Oh
Look
my
at you. Who is she?
Yeah. Have
I'm
my
so honored to be in your
copy.
presence.
I have my copy right there. My print copy literally just came on Monday night when I got home from work, and I'm like, oh my God. Like, I tore it open. Luckily, it didn't get damaged.
Oh
But
my
yeah,
gosh.
I mean, yeah, I was a part of the committee for the rankings committee for this year's top 150 women, which was a little daunting, not gonna lie, but I felt like I knew my shit, at least in regards to everything but the Joshi side. Luckily, we had an expert covered in that field. Everything but the Joshi side, I was pretty much, I think, like pretty knowledgeable in. But yeah, and then getting to write that NWA Empowerr article with Mickey, Chelsea, and Deanna's help was so cool. And now, like, I actually got to see my work in prints, and I have 10 more copies coming. I ordered 10 more.
That is
As
so
sad as that
cool.
is. But yeah.
Oh, we got questions coming in.
Yay.
Ooh. Our girls' rest friends want to know, what is the biggest challenge for you as content creators? Thanks, girl.
Who wants to go first?
Ooh.
Oh, special guest, our guest of
Okay,
honor.
no, I
Guess
know
first.
my answer. For me, it's honestly like self-doubt and not comparing yourself to other people.
Oh my gosh.
Obviously, like, it's the busy schedule and it's the research and editing and all that, but I mean, that you can learn with practice
Right,
and
right.
stuff, until you can get into a routine. But honestly, it's really hard, especially lately.
Yeah.
And of course, like, I'm grateful for everything like that I do, but just like not comparing yourself to other people, because you always have that moments where you're like, oh my God, so and so got like this interview that I've been dying for, and it's like, how do I get there? How do I get this to happen? And
Right.
I mean, like, of course you're happy for them and stuff, but it's just like constantly comparing yourself to like other people doing other things, and like who have obviously like you feel like people are doing more things and you want to be doing more, but you don't know how to get there. And it's like criticizing your own work. We're like, oh, why am I not getting so and so number of views? It's scrutinizing your own work.
Oh my gosh,
But
yeah. It
also
can take
trying
its toll.
not to compare yourself to others. And of course, like, last week was a really off week for me, not gonna lie, for a couple days. It just like, sometimes you just get really down with the self-doubt, and I definitely had a couple of days last week where I wasn't as active because I was like, fuck everyone. Sorry if I can't swear here, but yeah, it's definitely
It's live.
self-doubt.
That's
and,
it.
like,
We're not Danhausen. You can swear.
yeah, it's definitely self-doubt and trying not to compare yourself to others is definitely my biggest challenge. But what about you?
The thing that I think that has been the theme for me in the last couple of years, or well, actually my whole life, but comparison is the thief of joy. That's like a famous quote. And it's so true. And like, I'm in a new class with a bunch of people, and it's constantly like, oh, well, hers is better than mine, you know, like verbalizing it and realizing, like, you guys, we're not even in, like, I enjoy creating. And so you're, you know, comparison is really a challenge. Like, it really still, it's a thief of your joy. You're trying to have a good time, and you're just looking over there at someone else like, wow, I want to be doing that, you know? So I could relate to that totally, entirely. Yeah, it is a huge challenge.
What about you, Alicia?
Oh, definitely. I'm always like, oh, I'll see like you, be like, dang, I want to interview, I want to do that, and I'm like, wait, it's coming in my own time.
That's
Like, I'm just waiting. Like I saw PWI, and I saw everybody a part of like next year. Like, it could be like,
That's
and I'm waiting to
right.
be, instead of being like jealous or something, I'm like, no. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna be motivated to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
You know?
natural. Oh, my
Yeah.
brother's in there. I see. But no, it's natural. I think it's definitely natural to be jealous, and especially like a media saturated world
Right.
like wrestling. And it's hard. Like, I mean, that was me last year. Like, I just feel like I've somehow gotten lucky and like gotten the right connections and networked with the right people in order to get some of these opportunities. But I've definitely been like even like some of my good friends, I'm like, why can't I do this or whatever? And, like, of course, there's always going to be that little built-in jealousy, like I think ingrained into our brains. But I mean, it's like not trying. It's not letting that like affect or downplay your own life, because everybody's paths are different. And I try to tell myself that time, but of course we're all jealous at some point.
And like unlearning that is so hard. Oh my gosh, it's incredibly hard. But once you start to recognize it more, that's you learning. That's you recognizing, going, that's not gonna control how I feel about this. I'm gonna enjoy myself, and I'm gonna eventually get right with it where they are. But one of the other challenges that we also face is like time. Time is like often not on our side.
Never.
Our schedules are just like, So
for this, yes.
That's one of the biggest challenges.
And like even just like this week, like I had to pass up on a huge interview because I unfortunately was at my shoot job, and of course like financial stability comes, and I'm still a little bit salty about it, but I was presented with an opportunity for like a really huge interview, and unfortunately I had to pass up on it because I can't work. I'll be at work and there's nothing I can do about it, unfortunately, and I'm trying not to let it affect me. Like, this is the first time it's happened, but time is hard sometimes, hence like why it's really frustrating, like trying to work towards like this being a full-time thing, but you also need to be financially stable and like that's why I have my day job, to be able to support myself, because this doesn't pay the bills right now and I want it to. But of course, it's like you said, those sacrifices, but time sometimes is really a bitch.
Oh, yes.
Most definitely.
That's me right now, trying to, Our schedules are the polar opposite, especially when you have two of us.
Yeah.
And then you're adding a guest and you're like, what's your day? Those wrestling girls, you know.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Millie, I'm really, really trying. Like, I mean, if you guys want to know, like, it was the inspiration, and I am so sad that I
God.
Yeah, I am still so sad about it. I mean, who knows? Maybe, I mean, there's other waves to go down. Maybe sometime in the future it'll come back up. They are the Knockouts Tag Team Champions, but who knows? Maybe some other time in the future it'll come back up.
It will happen.
I just feel like sometimes it's those like once in a lifetimes, and it's like, you never know.
Yeah. Well, you're in this sphere though. Like the fact that you're even given the opportunity, that means you're just kind of like someone they're ready to go to. You know, like you're there. You're pretty much there. You're in the Rolodex.
I'm trying. I'm trying. We'll see though.
Yeah.
Everything happens for a reason. Your time's gonna come. You're on the radar. It will happen.
We all need to tell ourselves that. We all need like a boost.
Oh my God, yeah.
I understand it hurting. I understand, because it hurt me when you just said that name, and I was like, oh no.
Look at my stomach hurts.
Oh, yeah. But
I feel your pain.
Yes. But you know what? It's fine to sit with it. Be upset and then be like, it's going to be something else. You're going to get them.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
I'm sure. And it's going to be the best, funniest interview they'll ever have.
I know.
And then tell them to come over here.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
We got some more questions. I love this for everybody.
Yay.
Okay, we're going to start with those wrestling girls. Favorite moments so far in your podcast journeys? Ooh.
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 Who's going to go first?
I mean, I know mine, but I went first last time.
Okay. What's the favorite for this? Oh, man. I love the community we've all built. Meeting you, but I love all that. A moment? Oh, God.
Isn't that the question? What's your favorite?
It is a moment. It is a moment to meet people. It's a moment in time. I think, honestly, I always kind of say this, like, our first big interview is with Royce Isaacs, who's in New Japan Strong, and was always one of our favorites. And that was, like, someone who was, like, I'm like, he's in New Japan. He was just on AEW fighting Mox and Eddie Kingston. And I was like, I got to do this. I got to just, like, put on my big girl pants and ask him, and he did it, and he was great and like super supportive. Anybody we've ever come in contact with has been supportive. That's probably like our biggest like moment. That's one of my favorites. Our SummerSlam trip's a favorite moment.
Yeah, that's it for me.
Yeah.
That's what not even SummerSlam. It was GCW that was
It was
the
just
moment
the
for me.
weekend.
Because honestly, something came over me, like the Holy Spirit is what you could probably call it. Like I
MDK.
had a very spiritual experience in that church that night. I think that's where I lost my voice, honestly. That whole night was just magical, and that's like the moment. Like I know it's just one of many, but oh my gosh, it was just something happens when Nick Gage comes out and he's like calling for blood.
Yeah.
And you become bloodthirsty, and you're like, okay, I get why people go to war.
We've
I'm
changed
ready to
people
kill
after
for this
that.
man. So
Gang,
yeah,
gang.
that was such a fun moment. Gang gang. That's right. That's my
Hey,
favorite moment in
baby.
all of our history so far. Podcast. It wasn't part of the podcast though. It was part of like our experience.
Yeah.
It was vlogged. It's
still
vlogged. It's in
was
there.
vlogged.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
still part of the podcast, but it was
Yeah.
mostly a vlog. But yeah, just
Yeah.
interviews. Royce was definitely a fun one. You put it out there in the universe. You had a list of people, and
I do have a
look
list.
what happens. All you gotta do is ask. Worst they could say is no.
Going back
cool.
to like your blocks. That's my biggest block and my biggest journey, guys. Is to like ask
No and
people.
blocked.
That hasn't
Yeah.
happened yet, but I'm waiting.
That's right.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Hi, Dave. Dave, we were talking about our favorite wrestling podcast moments. What's up with you?
Anytime we have Davey on is always special.
Okay. Mine I feel like is like super obvious. Mine's so obvious. I mean, besides NWA Empowerr and stuff, I think really last year, like securing, and it's crazy to think that it's still last year at this point because it feels like forever ago. But August of last year, like right when Mickey came back to WWE, I had literally just interviewed her the week before, not knowing that she was going back next week.
Dang.
And so like for me, obviously that was like my dream, like my big dream interview up until that point, and it's like I think really been a domino effect ever since. Like securing that was like my 12-year-old like self like dream.
Yeah.
And so like now I think really a domino effect like after that, and then getting to work with her on GAW and everything, I think that really started like the domino effect of me getting these opportunities this year was that interview and like building that rapport with people. And of course, I mean, NWA Empowerr, where I got to attend the pay-per-view, but also network and meet a lot of other like wrestling creators there, like Ring the Bell, Women's Wrestling Talk was there. There was a bunch of other people, and it was so cool. And of course, the girls who I love, I adore all of them. But yeah, definitely like wrestling events too, like that. Like that was the week after SummerSlam. That weekend was NWA. But yeah, that was definitely cool too.
That's so cool.
That's the other moment. Our brunch, our Vegas brunch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So cool.
Iconic.
I remember seeing that. I was like, oh my god, I wish I could be there.
It's gonna happen at some point. We're all gonna get together.
It'll happen again.
It'll happen.
So.
There's a lot of people missing, so we'll all get together.
That's right.
Let's see. I have another question from Iridian. What's your dream job? Who wants to go first?
You go first this time. Oh wait, no. Amelia goes first this time.
My dream job.
Or do you need time? Because I can go.
So I have two different. I know, right? I have two different kind of trajectories because I'm trying to like get into tech. So if I was like in charge of like the front end of maybe like somebody's website, I mean that would be awesome if they were hitting me up for that stuff. But dream job, oh my god, like color commentary probably, like if in the wrestling sphere. And I think that would be L too, like either color commentary or like interviews in the back if you had to pick like for wrestling. That heck yeah. Because I constantly like when we're together, we're basically color commentating together
I bet.
all the time. And
You don't want to sit by us.
you don't want to sit by us. You really don't. Like the jokes are bad, and it's just fun.
You're
But
good.
that would be the dream. Yeah. And I think I want to say, Al, you probably have a bigger
Oh, yeah.
spectrum of that.
Oh yeah, I don't have like an outside dream besides wrestling. I figured this is where I'm going. Definitely, she's right. Commentary, like I love Renee, I love Beth. Um, I would love to try it. I have a lot of people that I look up to besides like Beth and Renee. Shout out AJ Kirsch who does Best of the West commentary, kills it all over, does Hood Slam. Like
Oh
that,
my
like
gosh.
super inspires me, like to host and do things like that. Besides the interview part, like I love doing the show, I love doing the podcast, I love networking, but definitely moving into like front of the camera, being a part of the show would definitely be the dream. And if you've seen a certain video of me slapping some wrestlers, you understand, yes, I would love to do that. Manage, I want to do all that. That's definitely my dream. So, and one day.
I have so many things I want to do that it's like hard to really define it because there's so many things I haven't done yet. Like the commentary, that situation didn't work out. Or I mean, like there's like ring announcing and stuff that I want to try, but I think ideally, like of course, like I said the other day, manifesting like wrestling media full time, whether that's like interviewing. I would honestly though, like getting a sponsored podcast would be amazing, like your own studio and everything. Oh, that would be so fun. But I mean, obviously, I do a lot of interviews outside of my own podcast, so like interviewing like backstage, or even if it's just virtual, like media scrums, I want to do those, be able to travel, like, or just writing, like basically like doing media travel scrums, interviews, like, oh gosh, there's this like writing, just like basically full-time wrestling media, however you define that. Like there's a lot. I also need to get better at video editing for that, but for right now, like interviews, like traveling to shows to do media coverage, like with scrums, and then like writing about it, or like doing post shows, or having like a sponsored podcast, or just basically a lot of things, just full-time paid and wrestling media is like the ultimate dream.
Yes, same. Yeah. Wrestling's gonna pay the bills one day. It's gonna happen.
I mean,
we're gonna look back.
We're on our way there, but not full time.
Not yet, but we're working on it.
Definitely.
Those were good questions. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
So we're celebrating our anniversary, but you just hit a big mark yourself. 200 episodes of A Wrestling Gal.
Yeah.
It's crazy. That's a lot of work.
Coming up on Friday will be episode 205, which means that I've literally done 100 episodes in 11 months. Which is crazy. God. I don't want to think about it.
You're 44 in 3 years, so good job on you.
I mean, to be fair, it's hard coordinating two hosts, though. Like, I completely understand that, though. Yeah. And I'm just crazy. And yeah, I still can't believe I hit 200 episodes. And then my 200th episode took forever to put together, but it was so worth it.
That's so cool. Congratulations.
Thank you, and congrats on 3 years. That's incredible.
Yeah. We're toddlers now. We're out of our terrible twos.
I'm still terrible twos. Yeah, I'm about 2 and 4 months, I think.
Aww, just a little one.
Yeah.
We're older.
I know, but barely.
But barely. But yeah, no, I'm like so proud of you. Everything you do, you kill it. You're so like inspiring. All my friends inspire me. Everything I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't do that. Heck yeah. So I love that. I love like seeing your journey and everything you're doing. And keep killing it.
I appreciate it. It's really hard sometimes. Like I said, like there's days like late last week, I was just not feeling it. Like I was super down, and like it happens like every so often. I mean, of course you're like proud of yourself, but you're always like, I want to do more. There's somebody out there like doing better. Like, why can't I do this? Like, how do I? are like doubting your own quality of your work because your like views and stuff aren't there. I mean, it's hard to judge yourself by numbers, but like honestly, those do matter, especially when you're chasing this thing. So I really appreciate you saying that. And you gals are absolutely killing it as well. I mean, 3 years. I mean, most people, isn't it like 85% of podcasts don't make it past like episode 3 or something?
Something like that. I saw that.
I've been
Here
a part
you
of
are.
one that only had like 2 episodes. So yeah, I'm right
Oh,
there.
yeah,
Yeah.
You're gonna have to tell that story sometime, Amelia.
Yeah. But real quick, Ella, like for when you just started, like when you decided, what was the spark that made you want to start pursuing this? Like what was it exactly?
So I was literally full on going. I had just graduated college. Graduated in December of 2018. Took the semester off because I'm like, I'll go in the fall, whatever. And applied to grad schools. I graduated with a bachelor's in psych and was like, I'm gonna go to grad school because I was going for like rehabilitation counseling. I had gotten accepted and everything, but then I'm like, I don't know if this is like really what I want to do because it's a lot of like money and commitment, and also at the same time I was like also enjoying like Alicia Toot and Chris Van Fleet and Samira, like I say, a lot of like wrestling interviews and media work, and I'm like, wrestling is like something that like I've been really, I mean, I was on Stan Twitter like for a good 5 years up until this point. So like wrestling took definitely priorities over my life, when sometimes over schoolwork, to be completely honest with you.
Right.
So I unenrolled from grad school, and I was like, I'm just going to take maybe a semester or a year off to rethink things so I don't invest in something that I'm not like fully sure about, because that's a lot of money and you get even less aid in grad school, but I digress. And then I was like, I love wrestling, and I'm like, I think I can do this. Like I have some friends who are in it and people I look up to. And then so like I had just discovered like independent wrestling in like early June or something, and then I was like, I'm just gonna start my own podcast, you know. I mean, I like talking wrestling. It didn't start out as wanting to do interviews exclusively. It was just more like I always felt restricted or like judged for being a female in wrestling. Like I had been so afraid to talk about wrestling for the longest time, where like my online life, like on Stan Twitter, felt like a whole separate entity from like college. In real life, Ella, was like a big secret. I was like, I love wrestling so much, and have like sacrificed a lot to be able to go to shows and like a lot of sleep. So I just started it, and like I feel like the female perspective wasn't really represented a lot, and like I had always wanted to have like a forum where I could talk about it because I was so passionate about it, and like it had been like an escape for me, and really like it's cliche, but it like saved my life. Like a lot of the people in there have like saved my life in it, and then it just evolved from there into like doing more interviews to now almost exclusively interviews. And like I said, this didn't start out as my path. I didn't go to college for any of this. It's more self-taught, or a lot of WikiHow, or a lot of like advice from people already doing this.
It called to you.
Yeah, I got student debt all for media. No, but you know, it's worth it. I feel like my psychology background does help though in conversations and like understanding people, because wrestling really touched my life, and really like a lot of the people like Mickey James and like Jeff Hardy, like Shawn Michaels, really were a light for me, like even in my darkest days. So like, I don't know. It's hard to explain. I literally dropped out of grad school to start this podcast. And evolved ever since.
It's so cool though.
Always
Look
need
how
to
far
go to
you've
college.
come. Like, and I'm just excited to see where you're gonna take it. Like you it's gonna be amazing, and I'm glad you found something that loves you back, you know.
I feel like I definitely got lucky too along the way, because I mean, of course it's like the content you put out there, but it's about, honestly, as people don't like to say, it's all about who you know too as well, with networking and building a rapport. And I will like frankly say I've been very lucky and fortunate in some of the connections that I've made, but also it's about building those connections too, and getting and positioning yourself in a spot to get some opportunities. Like PWI would have never ever come about had I not like reached out and really like collaborated with certain people in the wrestling community, and like built that rapport with people. So honestly, like, never say never, because there's things I'm doing now that I honestly, like, of course I want to do more. But
yeah, of course.
there's things that, like, I'm sure you guys can attest to that you would have never have, like, dreamed of, you know, and like it happened.
That's awesome. That's so cool.
Sorry for the long-winded response. It's just
Oh
it's
no, I'm
No.
glad. Like, that's exactly what I wanted.
We love long-winded responses.
yeah. It's
You've
hard to
seen our
explain how we
podcast.
got started, honestly. Like, I don't know how I explain why I dropped out of grad school and all of that to start this in like a short.
Because it's a part of your journey. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's like, when you ask a wrestler, what started this? What made you want to do this? Because wrestling itself is just, like, being a fan is one thing. Being a wrestler is a total other, because you have to really believe in yourself and bet on yourself. And that was something we took from the Royce Isaacs interview. It was like, he was out wrestling, but he had to bet on himself. And, you know, and like, we kind of just have to do that individually and believe that we deserve to take up space in these spaces, especially as women.
Yeah, mine just started out, honestly, as a hobby, because I was like, I'm just going to take a semester off and, like, just do this as a hobby and work, of course, at the day job. But then it evolved into something I'm like, oh my God, like, I actually love doing this, and I actually feel like I can contribute something to wrestling that has been, like, a struggle to find my voice in and, like, confidence in, if that makes sense.
No, that's so cool. Yeah. You are, you know, an inspiration, and we love you and we admire you. And man, yeah, like I said, I'm excited to see where you take it.
Thank you. I appreciate that so much. That's so weird to have people say that to me, because I feel like that to other people, like, my whole life. So I really, really appreciate that. And of course, like, 3 years is so cool. Like, when I started, I feel like there was no, like, female podcasters out there. There was, like, those wrestling girls, there was dead ass girls, there was, of course, you gals and, like, wrestling wind up, but there wasn't really a lot of other females starting out, at least from what I could tell in the podcast world. It's definitely skyrocketed since the whole pandemic. So
I love that.
Yeah.
It's just amazing to see so many women making content. It's like, because you kind of get it from a better point of view. Like, I would rather listen to her talking than him talking.
Yeah. Yeah, because it literally is a male dominated industry that is saturated so much, like, traditionally with the male perspective. Also, thank you, Teddy. Thank you, Millie. Been so like so dominant by men. And then, like, to actually see that other females, like I said, like Alicia Toots, Samira, like, when I was creating my own podcast, looking for names, I was, like, coming across all these other female podcasters. There was a few of them, but, like, a few is better than none. So I was like, oh, I'm not alone.
Yeah. And it's not just, like, talking about fashion or relationships or things like that.
Yeah.
We're talking about, like, the psychology of wrestling and how it affects, you know, like, it's so much more than what women like. It's like, no, like, Al and I will talk about gear, and then we'll talk about, like, storylines. You know, it's more than just like, oh my God, I love their relationship. Like, that stereotype.
I'm going to mention this, but then I'm also going to mention what a great match it was, and I'm impressed that she kept the gear on. Like, all of it.
So many different aspects. Like, there's the like, I was originally drawn in mostly from, like, the emotional aspect and, like, the character. And I mean, I've always been into sports. Yeah, storytelling. I've always been into sports too, so it's definitely cool to see, like, the high flying stuff. But it's like evoking that emotion, like, whether it's humor, like I saw in D-Generation X and their fucking Christmas commercials, or like sad stuff. As much as I cringe at it, like the whole Piggy James thing, like, I could still relate to it. I could still relate to it on a level, and it made me feel something, you know? So I mean, there's layers upon layers to just, like, in-ring moves and stuff, like you said.
That's all we want. We just want to bring the joy of wrestling to everybody. Because we don't understand why more people don't like it. That's what Amelia says all the time. Why don't more people watch this?
Yeah.
And that's just what we want to do.
Also, Millie, I got the notification too that Pro Wrestling I'm Anna Jay versus Jamie Hayter, I guess, is still yet to happen. That Piggy James storyline, I cringe at it, but honestly, like, I don't know if I would have had this trajectory and path with Mickey to where we would meet if I didn't find it.
Right.
So like life is crazy sometimes.
Life is awesome and crazy, but also scary,
Amazing.
but also really cool.
That's amazing. I love that you went from fan of Mickey to friend of Mickey. I love this. It's amazing. So now that you've met, like you've had your dream guest, Mickey James, is there somebody else as a dream guest, or are we done?
All time.
Who else do we
All
want?
time is Shawn Michaels. I don't think that'll ever
Ooh,
my favorite.
Oh, it
time.
could.
never say
It
never.
will.
Never say never.
Listen,
Will.
no, I don't know. I guess never say never, but like it's Shawn Michaels. But I mean, maybe more realistically, like Jamie Hayter is one I've been dying to get on for like since the start. Like Mercedes Martinez and like Lita and like Shawn Michaels are like the 4 like dream guests, honestly.
You just put it out in the universe. It's gonna happen.
I hope
Yeah,
so.
write
But
it
what-
down.
Yeah, I have it written down. Trust
I
me.
have, yeah.
Hi, Josh. Who are you? I want to know who's your dream guest, though.
R?
Yeah.
Ooh, I think we have different answers, but
CM Punk.
oh, I'd be sick. Okay, adjacent to CM Punk, AJ Lee.
Okay.
Ooh.
That'd be fun. You gotta get them together.
Oh, sorry, that's just went off on a tangent. But Trish, Lita, Jeff Hardy. I don't know if I could actually do that one though. I would rather be just in
I
tears.
mean, I died
would
in
be
my
in
meet
tears.
and greets with him, like earlier, the virtual ones, like died in my meet and greets both times. Like, I don't know if I could do, I would love to, but I don't know if I could do it with Jeff.
He was doing a signing the day before we got into Vegas. And I was like, you know what? I'm glad I'm not there because I don't want a pandemic picture with him. I want a full hug.
Yeah.
No, I see Jeff
But I was
next month.
bummed.
If I meet him, I'll give you a big hug for
Yeah.
you.
I love him. Dolph Ziggler obviously is one of my ultimate. Yeah.
He would be so funny. Like, I've been
That's so
to
good.
his comedy shows and met him a few times. He has, I mean, he's funny, but he has a great mind and like always has a way with words. So he would definitely be a great guest too.
Okay, so remember we were talking before we met Dolph.
Yeah.
And you were like, he's gonna be the best, and it's so funny, and you were right.
Yeah, I've seen him. I mean, granted, I just want to know, did he tell the Kanye West limo story?
No.
Okay.
So now we have to get him on the show so he can tell that story.
Yeah. Oh my
Or
God.
we just have to go to Texas and hopefully see him do a show there.
Okay.
Oh my
Possibly
God.
go to Texas.
I'm shocked he didn't mention it because he told that joke at both shows I went to. So
Maybe
I
he changed it up.
Granted, that was 3 years ago. Coming up on 3, we could have changed up his content, but it's such a funny story that he.
Oh my
I
gosh.
want to hear it.
I need to hear this now. But yeah, we met him at like 3 a.m. I talked to him about Guns N' Roses, and my life was made. But if we can get him on the show for like a full hour, I would be even more.
Yeah.
Like, if you get him on, you better let me ask one question.
Of course, I'll patch you through. We'll patch you through.
Okay, thank you.
We'll shout you out. But probably, ooh, Stephanie McMahon.
Oh my gosh, there's so much you could talk.
I got a whole list in my head of dreams.
I have
Yeah,
a list
she
too.
does, yeah.
I
I'm just
literally
like,
have
Tony
whoever
Khan.
wants to be on the show, I'm just stoked to have you and like talk to you. Let's talk wrestling. I love talking about wrestling.
Renee Young, Kathy Kelly, whoever wants to talk to me about wrestling. Beth Phoenix, Natalia. I can just keep going.
I got to interview Renee earlier this year for SEC, and I died. Like, I still can't even. I'm like, I still can't even believe it.
That's so cool.
It's amazing.
She's so cool.
She's the
She
coolest.
is.
All of the love to Renee and Moxie right now, by the way.
Yeah.
Big time. Yeah, his book. Oh my God, so cool.
I haven't read it yet, but I need
I haven't
to.
either.
I need to get it.
I remember hearing like the Tony Khan interview when he was talking about the book, and I was like, Moxie's writing a book?
Yeah.
What?
I mean, he's got
exciting.
a long story, definitely.
I love that he loves libraries. I mean, that's my favorite thing about him.
Ooh. So is Mox an interview we should get one day?
I want to ask him about libraries.
Sure. In a
Nobody's
library.
asked me about that before, probably.
Right?
Amelia, you got, besides CM Punk, anybody else? Long list?
Oh my God, Trish, for sure. I would love to talk to Trish. We
Okay.
got to chit chat like very minutely with Lita, and I bet she would be so fun on the show. Yeah, like because them two were just they're goddesses of wrestling. Oh my gosh, I would love to talk to Goldust or
Ooh,
yeah,
Dustin.
Dustin.
Ooh.
And Thunder Rosa, I think would be a great. If those are like
Yes.
my top, these are the people I'm like I want to talk to you.
Yeah.
Ooh, yes. Thunder
And
Rosa.
I mean, if language wasn't a barrier, Bull Nakano.
Mhm.
And yeah, that's probably yeah. Like Bull, like what was it? Oh my God, the fashion, the fit, like this person was on fire constantly. Her crew always looked good.
Yeah.
And like, what was your fashion info? Where did you shop? Like, what do you have all that
That's
stuff still?
custom.
Like, they just looked so amazing all the time. And like, yeah, I would just, oh my God, I would love to talk to Bull Nakano if I could.
That would be so fun.
Yeah, they always looked so cool. Like, how are you this cool? How are you this cool?
I'll never be as cool as any Jersey wrestler, and I know that.
Exactly.
It's just a fact, and I understand that. I respect that. I
I
know my
accept it. I
limitations.
accept it.
Yeah. Also, Millie, to answer your question, I have an interview dropping with Masha Slamovich tomorrow.
Ooh.
Willow Nightingale on Friday.
Oh my
And
gosh, she's so adorable.
what was that?
Willow Nightingale's so adorable.
I know.
know.
Like, she is such a sweetheart. Like, I can't wait. That's one that I've been waiting on a while, too. So I'm glad that I find it. And, like, Kylan King today was one that I've been wanting for a long time. Very true. Yes. But yeah, coming up. Go ahead.
No, I'm laughing because she's typing in our own.
Oh, yeah, but Millie, coming up too, I just scheduled some for next week with Ray Lynn, Kelsey Reagan, Shoddy. She's from the UK. She's a rapper too. I don't think a lot of people know her.
So cool.
And getting that one in. Judy Hendricks and Rebecca Scott. Those and Leah Owens. You know Leah Owens from Eve. So those are the ones I have lined up next week that I'm recording with as of now. That plans could change because wrestling is crazy.
It is.
But
Cards
yeah.
have to change.
Mhm.
Right.
Oh
That's so cool.
my gosh, what
So
did I put?
cool.
All right. Wow, it's already almost an hour.
Time
Okay,
flies.
and I was like, it'll be half hour.
You're
I
good.
guess we should end this. I could talk to you forever, but I know it's late over there.
We can go for like
Yeah.
another 10 minutes if you want.
All right, if you want to go. All right, guess the spoken. Yeah. Oh, now I'm just people are excited.
Yeah, Leah
Yeah.
Owens is great. I just lost my voice. I've been talking all day. I'm so
Oh,
sorry.
I know. I have honey here because my voice, like I said, still has not recovered. And I don't take care of it. I really need to take care of it.
I mean, same. Maybe, yeah. I mean, I filmed some stuff. I had a lot of like editing and like recording to do today. So like, I got you.
Mhm.
And how's we didn't even talk about it. How's Gaw going? How's that?
Oh, Gaw?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
Gaw
little thing.
amazing. We just had their 77th episode today, and on the after party, Mickey showed us her music video for Grown Ass Women. So hopefully that's releasing soon. But yeah, like we get the after parties. Join Patreon if you're not joining. Ella goes 30 minutes. Yeah, I do go 30 minutes after I say I'm going to end my lives. That is so true. Also, love you too, Vocal Mind, Sophia. Gaw is great. Like they have some really cool stuff coming up in 2022 that I will be a part of that I can't talk about yet.
Okay.
But honestly, like you ever have those lows, like your low points, but then something like miraculous comes out of thin air to like bring you back? Like that's how it was when I was like presented with this thing. So, but I'm super excited.
Cool.
It's gonna be launching in 2022, and I'm super excited for it. But yeah, Gaw also plans to go on the road sometime next year.
Dang.
So that's
West Coast.
fun. I mean, Lisa is in California, in San Diego, so I'm sure they'll be hitting up California or like Las Vegas and stuff.
I can go to San Diego. I have a cousin who lives there. We have a spot to sleep
I'm
at.
sure,
I want to see. I am
been-
obsessed with Victoria.
They've been
Obsessed
wanting
with
to
her.
go on tour. They've been wanting to go on tour for a while.
That's so
All right, I'm
They're
there.
cool.
great. I'm so thankful for them.
Okay. Or will you be there, or would we just say that you sent us?
You can say that I sent you. I don't. It's really in the early stages, honestly. I can't. Then again, the situation could change, but as of now, I really can't travel around a lot. But like
Yeah.
it'll be a tour. Like that's what they're planning on, like different cities. So if they're coming to my city, I'll be there. But yeah, you
Right.
can tell them that I sent you for sure.
Oh my gosh. I
Oh my
once got a
gosh.
hug from Victoria as a child, and I would like to relive that in my 30s because I still love her so
Yes.
much.
Yeah, I got
That'd be so
my
cool.
Victoria slam.
Oh, cute!
That's always in my background.
I love
So
that.
I help her out with her store too.
That's
So
another dream guest. You know, I mean, we know somebody. I mean, I would love to talk to her.
okay, wait, wait.
Like, not immediately, just throwing that out there. She's a dream guest. I love her. Inspiration.
She's amazing. I love all of them. Yeah, like I said, like honestly, never say never in wrestling because like
That's
you
right.
honestly, I don't know.
I'm just going with the flow
Wildest
and
dreams
seeing.
could come true.
Yeah, Lisa is the sweetest. I have not seen Lisa in person in 11 years, and the last no 10 years. Like 10 and a half. And the last time I was too afraid to go up to her and say hello, so I just waved from afar. So I have not properly met her in person. And I still regret it to this day that I was too afraid to go up to her. At the TNA show, she was all alone at her table. Like I was like,
The
oh,
opportunity was there.
I know.
That's Amelia all the way.
Oh, all the time. Every time we go
There's
anywhere.
some people that I was just too afraid to go up to. Like unless I don't know. Like even nowadays, like even at like indie shows, I'm like, unless I like know the person,
Right.
Or like
That's
I
her.
just don't think to do it. Like I see them like, oh, there's Hangman by himself, just hanging out. Cool.
I would have
Open
died.
doors.
Cool. No, it does not occur to me to go run over there and be like, oh my god, can I take a picture with you?
Yeah,
It
like
does not occur to me.
unless I'm knowledgeable on them or like they like maybe recognize me, I like just can't. I don't have the courage to do it. Like somebody needs to push me. Yeah.
She's the pusher.
I'm the person.
I need
She doesn't even, she doesn't even do it when we go to local shows where they know who we are, where they're just our friends. And she's like, I don't want to bother them. I'm like, but you know him.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Even me sometimes at like indie shows. I mean, I'll go up to the girls. Like I'm more comfortable with them for some reason.
Yeah.
But like even some of the guys who know me like locally, I can't for some reason. I'm so afraid for no reason.
Yeah.
I absolutely. I walk in like, what's up? Hey,
Oh my
it's
god.
me.
Yeah. I just go straight to the seats.
She gets me a seat. I'm buying merch.
What are you doing here? Like, oh gosh, she's vibing.
Or I'll just awkwardly stand whoever I'm with as they're talking together. Just like, hey, that's pretty much Liz and Amelia.
Yep.
Yeah.
I had to drag her to get a picture with Ricochet after an NXT show. I literally physically pulled her in front of him because it was like there was an opening.
Yeah.
And then I got my picture with Rhea Ripley after an NXT, and she's like, no. I turned around, I had no friends. I was like, all right, I'm getting a selfie.
Rhea is the sweetest person ever.
Yeah.
Oh my god, like I had such a great experience with her last year. She is honestly the sweetest wrestler I've ever met. Oh my god.
So nice. She was very nice. She just won the title. Everybody wanted her time.
I'm telling you, like Rhea Ripley is honestly the sweetest wrestler you ever meet. So if you ever
believe it
again, you better take it.
Yeah.
Okay, I will take it. You're gonna be like in the back of my head, like take it.
Yeah, she's the sweetest ever.
Yeah, she was so sweet. Even like 2 seconds, because like that, everybody wanted her time. She just won the title. They're like filming her for like a thing, like a promo before, like for whatever the next NXT, and she was like bombarded. And I was like, I'm gonna get in here. And then I forgot that my phone was on video instead of selfie. It was a whole thing.
You can just
as I tend to do, embarrass myself. Yeah, but I'm like holding it. I'm like, oh shit, this is a video, and
it's okay.
As I do. I'm just embarrassing.
It's okay. It happens to the best of us.
That's right. It sure does.
But there's a picture. There's an actual photo. It worked out.
Yeah.
That's right.
But yeah.
So is Rhea the sweetest wrestler you've ever met? Wow.
Yes.
Words
Of
are
all
hard.
time?
Yes.
Words are hard.
So far, like, yes, out of all of the ones I've met, definitely Rhea Ripley.
Malia, who's the nicest wrestler you ever met?
Ooh.
Nicest. We're not going to Brock Lesnar story.
Nicest messler I ever read.
Yeah.
Words
Yeah.
are hard. Gosh. I can't think of this is a flex. Kenny Omega, because his handler was telling him no pictures, no. And he's like, just one. It's okay. It's okay. And he was so nice. And that weekend, only one other person took a picture with him. So his handler was saying no to people. He let me take a pic. So nicest wrestler.
That's yeah. I was gonna say Dark Sheik.
She was like pushing me away. Yeah, Dark Sheik was really
Slam, I assume.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's Slam GCW. She was on that show. She was at karaoke. The sweetest.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Oh my God.
a ray of light human.
Millie, I've definitely embarrassed myself a few times in front of wrestling. I tried to hold it in. Like, I've definitely at one point, like, meeting Mickey for the first time. Like, I met her and then literally darted for the bathroom and cried. So I tried.
I did that after Rita.
I try not to, but I've definitely had my fair share of embarrassing myself. Meeting wrestlers like The Miz, and I'm like, oh my God, why did I do that?
Oh no.
But yeah.
I'm trying to think of anything super embarrassing. Nothing
I think
super
your
embarrassing
biggest
besides the phone.
flub was Becky Lynch when the dang thing was she cut a promo for us and it wasn't. There's no audio. It's all just her like.
Oh my God.
It was right when we started the podcast, and I was like, "Hey, we have this podcast, and it's called Kayfabe Queens." This is like
down.
a month into the podcast, and she killed it just off the cuff, as she does. She's the man. She's the best. And I had it plugged into the selfie stick, and I didn't take out the plug.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It hurts to this day, 3 years later.
I've had some blunders like that before where, like, it got this amazing thing, but, like, the audio doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a video, you could read her lips.
Fair. I've definitely had some more embarrassing. Well, I've had a quite embarrassing one before, too, but we won't go down that path.
We won't. Yeah, that's a long road to walk, and never fun to go down those roads again.
Ooh, Teddy has a Kenny-O. Oh, she's saying Kenny's so sweet. She met him. They were. She's a rule breaker. She's shaking hands with Kenny.
Oh
That's
my
so
man, I wanna meet
cute.
Kenny.
See, he is so nice. Like, or he just doesn't listen. Which
maybe
Such an
maybe
FTP.
it's working to your advantage.
one or the other. He's probably a terrible partner.
Oh no, me. Oh no, the worst was meeting Shane Helms. That's my favorite. He's so nice.
Oh my god.
Alicia might hate me for this, but the night I met Hangman, I was the only person that he took a photo with that night.
Dang. I feel
Wow, bye. No,
like you tried him, and it's like, yeah. I mean, it feels good, and you're like, dang, I got in. I got in. Oh hell yeah.
I'm never in.
You got right place, right time, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't. Somebody was cursed me. My ancestors cursed me. I don't get that luck.
That's all right. Just gonna heal from that ancestral
Manifest.
trauma. That's it. We're leaving that stuff behind, and we're going forward.
It's a new time. Year 3, we're going in.
So it's officially been an hour.
We'll look at you on the time.
I know. For once.
she? New Year, I told
Who
you.
is she?
I guess we should end this. This is getting wild.
It could go on.
Uh,
It could go on.
this could go on forever, and
But
it's
Ella
always
has a
an
voice
open
to
invite.
preserve.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
she
I
has
have to
interviews.
be
You got to go do
and I
that.
have to be up at 6 a.m. for
Oh,
work.
Lord.
Okay, we're
I
gonna leave
know.
you. Yeah, it's late over there.
Thank you so much for doing this with us. It was so fun. We could talk. We could continue talking, but you and I both like to probably preserve this a little
Yeah,
bit.
like I'm preserving my voice
You
right
guys,
now and trying to clear my throat. It's just not working.
Yeah.
yeah, go rest your voice. You have a long day, but we'll always have an open
Sleep
invite. Have you
well.
back?
Thank
Yes.
you. This was a lot of fun. And
Yes.
congratulations again on 3
Thank
years.
you.
A lot of people can't say that, so that's something super special. And of course, I can't wait to tune in for who else do you have lined up this week.
Oh,
Ooh,
yes.
so
Ooh, I
exciting.
guess we could announce it. It's been confirmed. Well, we're waiting on one person, but our next live will be Saturday, 5-ish p.m. Pacific, 8 Eastern, with our homie, first ever wrestling guest, California independent wrestler, Toxic Trent. Woo-hoo!
Nice.
That's a friend. So it'll be
So
fun. We'll be chatting.
excited.
Yeah.
Twitch
Do you
streamer, all of that. I'm going to plug on stuff.
Dee, we're about to hop off of here, unfortunately. We've been on for an
Sorry.
hour. I know AEW ended, so.
I know. I got to go watch AEW later.
Oh, yeah. Thank you again,
And then if
Ella.
anybody
This was
missed
so fun.
this, we're gonna record this. They will be up on our YouTube at some point soon.
Just
I'm
be
not
sure
gonna
you
give a
don't
date
hit
because
delete. Just be sure you don't hit delete like I did the one time.
Oh, no.
oh no. Okay, I am screen recording it and I might have it saved just in case. I'm gonna do a double just in
Yay.
case, you know.
Yeah.
Just in case. Double
After
it,
Becky
yes.
Lynch, I learned my lesson.
Have a good night too, Dee. And
Bye.
definitely be available on replay for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you
All right.
everyone who joined
Thank
us. Everyone
you.
have a good night.
You too.
Bye.
Thank you.